Lawmakers from both parties are condemning an attack on South Carolina Representative Nancy Mace's home over the holiday weekend after it was vandalized with messages targeting the Congresswoman. Joining me now to discuss is Congresswoman Mace. Hi, Congresswoman. Thanks for joining us.
And thank you for having me again today.
Yeah, of course. And, sorry to hear that it's under these circumstances. You've shared images of the messages that were spray painted on your property. Why do you think whoever did this chose to write what they did?
Well, we don't know yet. We don't have all of the answers. I can tell you it was shocking to walk up to my home and see it spray painted, seeing the graffiti, the expletives that were used with my name, and to have this conversation once again with my kids. I'm a single mom. I'm raising two kids. This is their home. This is where they live. It was jarring and it's shocking. This is the second time in 7 months that I've been targeted for vandalism. The first time was my car on the day of one of my debates, and now they showed up on my front step at my house. And whomever did this, if they think for 1 second that I'm going to be intimidated by them showing up here, well, they can think again. I'm not going to back down from my beliefs or my convictions or for working hard for the people that elected me to Congress.
Well, and, part of the messages I saw in the pictures you shared, it said pass the PRO Act. So it seems to be that part of this is politically driven. What's your response to that?
It's very weird. There were anarchists and Antifa symbolism, the anti-government, anti-political symbolism, and at the same time, they spray painted on my house to pass the PRO Act. I mean, sort of which is it? I think that they are confused, and then to walk out and see "F you, Nancy" out of my front door. It's very jarring, and it's sad. It makes me sad for my community, for my neighbors. My neighbors didn't ask for this. My kids are innocent in all this. They didn't ask for this either. But the divisiveness in this country, the rhetoric leads to consequences like this. We've seen the leftist activists. They shot Steve Scalise. They put Senator Rand Paul in the hospital, and today he's missing part of his lung. Over the last 15 months, we've seen them loot, destroy, and burn down cities in this country. And we've got to say enough is enough. This has got to end. Our kids and our country are counting on a better future.
Yeah, certainly, and hopefully the local authorities there in your community can give you some more answers as they investigate. But I do want to shift to another topic. Dr. Anthony Fauci has been under intense scrutiny, as we know, for his role in funding the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Now, a trove of his emails that were released just recently, it shows early on in the pandemic, he dismissed the idea that the COVID-19 pandemic, that the virus might have originated in a lab. And then we saw the mainstream media calling it a conspiracy theory for more than a year. But now this idea is popular. What do you make of that? Why do you think that is?
Well, to see the way the mainstream media has handled this, I don't believe ethically. You had President Trump last year talk about it being a potential leak from the Wuhan lab, and he was touted as a conspiracy theorist. Fast forward a year later, and the New York Times is blaming President Trump for it being leaked out of the Wuhan lab. Dr. Fauci has not been clear, transparent, or honest with the American people, whether it's to wear a mask or not to wear a mask, whether it's that American taxpayers paid for funding and research or gain-of-function research in a Wuhan lab and contributed to the problem. He doesn't know the answer to that either. And there were 900 pages of emails that were released today. It seems like he says one thing in the public and does another privately. And myself, and I know Senator Rand Paul, have been very vocal calling out Dr. Fauci, calling it like we see it, and calling out the double standard here.
All right. And finally, yesterday, we saw Joe Biden seemingly criticizing moderate Democrat Senators Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema for voting with Republicans. He called them out essentially during a speech in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What do you think that says about his confidence in getting his agenda passed? And what does it say about the Democrat Party more broadly?
Well, thank God Senator Manchin and Senator Sinema don't listen to Joe Biden or Nancy Pelosi or the Democratic Party all the time. They are doing the work of the people that sent them to Congress and to the Senate. And so I want to praise them for their work in standing against their party. It's very rare that we see Democrats stand up against their party. Nancy Pelosi really has a chokehold on members in the House of Representatives. and really controlling how they vote. And it's refreshing, honestly, as a Republican, to see two Democrats stand up against their own leadership. And we have Republicans. We do that all the time in the Republican Party. And so it's refreshing to see it being done on the other side. It's important for the future of our country to have those strong voices.
How do you think something like this might play into the midterms? I mean, they're not that far away. 2022 is around the corner. How do you think that might come into play there?
Well, when you look at the economy right now, 250,000 jobs created just last quarter alone. They were expecting 1 million. You're looking at record taxes. We're looking at inflation, a growing debt, 28 trillion and counting. The deficit is 3 trillion. When people really start feeling the pain, and we've seen prices at the grocery stores go up 21%. We're seeing pain at the gas pump. We're seeing lumber prices up 381% over the last few months. When people really start feeling the pain of the Biden administration and Nancy Pelosi and AOC's policies in their pocketbooks, then we're going to have a very strong 2022 midterm, and you're going to see Republicans win back the House. We only need 5 or 6 seats to do it, and we're going to do it.
All right. We'll see how this plays out. Thank you so much for your insight and your input. And again, sorry about what happened. Hopefully you get some more answers about vandalism at your home. Congresswoman Nancy Mace of South Carolina, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.